everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video here on the Mr. Transfer channel. And today I'm going to be talking about away from transfer news, as the transfer window has finished. I know I haven't uploaded in quite a long time, but I'm back here now doing match predictions for Chelsea and doing match reviews for Chelsea, and maybe because the international break started, doing match reviews for England and many other clubs. But today we do have a Premier League fixture to discuss today. That was Chelsea versus Sheffield United, and we'll talk about how Sheffield United started the game. They came in with a bit of a heavy load, and I'm going to show you guys the lineup for Sheffield United and the lineup for Chelsea. I am a Chelsea fan, so we're going to be doing a lot of Chelsea match reviews and match predictions and stuff like that. So let me show you guys the Sheffield United lineup. So here is the lineup. This is legit the only picture I could find for the Sheffield United lineup. Found a picture for the Chelsea lineup, but they did have Aaron Ramsdale in goal, and they did have the striker not Ollie McBurney. They had David McGoldrick up top, as does Ryan Brewster, who was yet to open his account in the Premier League. They played Lundstrom. They played Sander Berg. And Stevens was forced to play in the back three once again. But let's move on to the Chelsea lineup, and that is probably one of the strongest responses that they could give us. If you wanted the full lineup, it was Aaron Ramsdale, John Egan, Chris Basham, Eric Stevens, George Badlock, Michael Lowe, Oliver Norwood, Lundstrom, Sander Berg, Ryan Brewster and David McGoldrick. So that was the Sheffield United lineup. Let's move on to the Chelsea lineup. So the Chelsea lineup was very, very jam-packed. They continued the Edouard Mendy stuff. They played Reece James at right back. They did the normal centre-back pairing that they've seemed to found. They did Zuma and Thiago Silva. And we played Chidi Bean at left back, Chilwell, and Jorginho and N'Golo Kante with the two DMs in the middle. Timo Werner, Mason Mount and Hakim Ziyech. What they predicted, and it did happen. And Tammy Abraham was the one in the middle with the out Hakim Ziyech and the out Kai Havertz. So just to think that the game finished 4-1, and Chelsea without two of their probably most creative players in their whole squad, some of the most dangerous players that they have, winning a game 4-1 against Sheffield United, who still do have quality despite being bottom of the league currently. It's pretty sight to see, and it will lead on to my question at the end of the video for you guys. And that was the Chelsea lineup, so very, very strong lineup. And let's move on to the game then. So Sheffield United were the ones to kick off, as Chelsea were at home at Stamford Bridge, and they legit came on to us like, I don't even know, as if they'd taken the games that they had learned from Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, and corrected all of their errors that they made in those games, and just played the Sheffield United team that played at the beginning of the season last season. And it was just something different, and I think we were a bit shaken by it, because I think we were expecting a bit more laid-back game when we came into it, and we were a bit shaken, and that's what led to the first goal in 8 minutes. And they came on, and they got a corner from Chilwell, who's caught out at the left-back position, and then he ended up making the block, so Mendy wouldn't have to do any work. We ended up diving for it, Mendy, and I think he probably would have had it covered. And then they had a corner, and then it was headed out by Thiago Silva. The next one, Zuma headed it out, and then the third one, it was clever play because it got blocked by Thiago Silva at the front post again, and then it went back to Lundstrom, I'm pretty sure, and then Norwood got a really clever play by Sheffield United, and Chelsea we were really caught out by it, if you know what I mean. We were really caught out, and then Sheffield United had the opportunity. They had so much space, Kante, and I'm pretty sure it was Tammy Abraham who were the two zonal markers, and he made it so the clever play went back to Sander Berg. And then I think he just flicked it on, and he wasn't going to shoot. He just meant the pass, and then it just went into went into David McGoldrick, who scored the goal for Sheffield United. Edouard Mendy with no chance. I'll show you guys a picture of what his celebration was, because that was he scored 2 goals against us in their last appearance against us, and that was Sheffield United's last win until the new season. So the last win they got was against us, and David McGoldrick scored twice in that game. Not Ollie McBurney, because he was ill, not with COVID, but he was just had a bit of a runny nose. But he could make the bench, so he was fit enough for that. But David McGoldrick got the opening goal. So after that bit of dismal start for Chelsea, they sort of realised that this wasn't going to be a game where you could sit down and relax and just walk over it and just take the victory easy as pie. Because Sheffield United did pose threats to Manchester City. And Liverpool, they had the lead on them for 28 minutes long. And Arsenal, they did get a goal. And although in the game against Manchester City they did not get a goal, in those 2 other ones I mentioned, they did get a goal. So they do show that they do have quality. But they're just lacking a bit. And 10 minutes after that, we were growing into the game, if I could say so. We were passing the ball around, knocking it in about, just relaxing a bit more, and just as if we wanted to get forward a bit more. We had a few good chances, but until Edouard Mendy rolled the ball out, and then Tammy Abraham, and then Hakim Ziyech played Kovacic into the box, and Kovacic did have the option to go selfish and go straight at the keeper. Of Aaron Ramsdale did make a few mistakes in that game, spilling the ball sometimes, and being almost letting in a goal at his near post via Reece James. But Kovacic did have the option to put press, but no, he got it back to Tammy Abraham, and Tammy Abraham, either he meant to hit it, and for it to have full power onto it and be directly hit into the top corner, or he meant to do what he meant to do, meant to do what he did, and have it bounce down on the floor and then bounce up into the net over George Badlock and Aaron Ramsdale. But I'll go for the option that maybe he didn't, because it was if he was trying to tap it and try and curl it round into the top corner. But either way, Tammy Abraham, a goal's a goal. So the second goal came in the form of Ben Chilwell, and that man Hakim Ziyech again with another brilliant cross. I'm gonna talk about him towards the end of the video, because he's obviously had the man of the match, when I'm pretty sure a hat-trick of assists. It was just unbelievable performance by him. But let's talk about the Ben Chilwell goal. He did do a press conference after the game, and he said that in training, Chelsea have been practicing that movement from Ben Chilwell, and he's saying that Hakim Ziyech or maybe Reece James take Mason Mount to whip in their balls, and they're in training. They're expecting, and they will be practicing Ben Chilwell and for him and Timo Werner to be there to tuck it in. And I don't think Ben Chilwell knew much about it, because he said in the press conference that he didn't know that he scored until when Tammy Abraham was arriving. With this big smile on his face, he realised that he had scored and looked that the ball was in the back of the net, and he was quite happy about that. So that is what he had to say. And another possibly lucky goal, but I think Ramsdale just made too many mistakes in today's game. He's quite a young keeper, so we put a lot of pressure on him, which I think benefited into our advantage. And a goal's a goal again, Ben Chilwell. So the next goal came in the form of Thiago Silva, and what a goal it was. It was a bullet header from the Brazilian, who I thought would never be saying these words, who scores his first Chelsea goal in a blue shirt. And it was, what a header. And as well, it's been practice in training, because the glee when Thiago Silva had scored the goal, the glee on his face when he ran to Ben Chilwell and Hakim Ziyech, it was just immense glee. And as well, Hakim Ziyech with the left-footed boot into the ball. Thiago Silva arriving late. Ramsdale with absolutely no chance on it. It was such a good header, such a good delivery, and I don't think you could ask for much more. And more on Thiago Silva. He sort of is in PSG they call him the emperor of centre-backs in Paris, and he is. He legit is. He commands the defence, and it rubs off on Zuma and Reece James and Chilwell. It rubs off on all of them. I'm not saying Chilwell wasn't good already, but it rubs off on everybody else, and it just settled our defence a bit. And it's just, the fact that he was a free signing as well, ran out of contract. The fact that PSG didn't even keep him. He's got so much experience, won plenty of trophies at Inter Milan, won plenty of trophies at PSG, made 3 Champions League finals, won one of them. He just has so much confidence and just ways to calm down. Like if your fullback makes a mistake, he's there to deal with it, and it's just brilliant thing. And like I could not be more happier for Thiago Silva. What a header! Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And that's 3-1. And that pretty much it was for us. That's what we needed, the 2-goal cushion. And from there on, we were home and hosed. But the next goal came in the form of the in-form Timo Werner. Let's move on to that. You might criticise him, you might not like him, but this man, Timo Werner, is just a monster, really. He's just such an attacking force. He's very quick, and yeah, you can make the argument that he's not just adjusted to the Premier League yet, which I'd agree with you with. At the end of games, he looks a bit knackered, but with his speed at the first 70-odd minutes, if you gave him one-on-one with the keeper and the keeper had 2 second head start on him, he'd get there still. And that is the quality of Timo Werner and the finishing. Yeah, two minutes before that, he missed a pretty much brilliant ball from Hakim Ziyech again, and then he just lifted over the keeper, and it was going in, but then the bounce took it off target, and it was just really unfortunate for Werner. But then 2 minutes later, he got the goal, and it was 1-on-1 again, and then just this time drilled it into the top corner, and it was just really brilliant finish from Timo Werner, and it's great. And moving into the international break, he's going to get a lot of confidence because he's been called up for Germany again. Kai Havertz hasn't because of COVID. He's isolating with COVID, but he's doing pretty well, so he should be ready for the game against Newcastle. And yeah, Timo Werner goal, absolutely sublime. And let's talk about this man, Hakim Ziyech. Obviously a man-of-the-match performance from Hakim, but it was just something else, those performances today. Not any ordinary man-of-the-match performance. He put 100%, and he was the one that put 100% into today's performance. Just always trying to get into the pockets of space, always trying to create opportunities, always trying to have a strike of the ball every time he gets the opportunity. Like when it was floating around, it spilling, came back, took the shot, brilliant save by Ramsdale. But see, that's what you like to see from players. Every time you sit in there watching the TV and you just see someone just like, hit it, go on, hit it, he will hit it. And that is why I like him so much. Brilliant header from John Egan to get it past, because it was curling into the top corner. Ramsdale probably wouldn't have had it, but it was just today's performance from Hakim Ziyech was just unbelievable. I don't want to jinx it, but I think he could have, if he continues this run of form and just goes on for the rest of the games this season, he could be a contender for Premier League Player of the Season. I don't think he'll get it, but I think he'll probably be nominated for Premier League Player of the Season. And who knows, maybe Kai Havertz might get it, maybe Timo Werner, maybe anybody else in our Chelsea squad. But right now, the most looking likely to get Premier League Player of the Season in our squad is probably Timo Werner, Thiago Silva, or Hakim Ziyech. And Timo Werner and Thiago Silva have been nominated for Premier League Player of the Month. Hoping Thiago Silva could get it. But Hakim Ziyech today, just the performance that he put out there today, man the match obviously, but it was just so good and so sublime. It was just something else, and it was just a different element to us, and just he sort of calmed down play, and every time we could get forward, he used it forward. He knew when to go back, he knew when to go sideways, and he knew definitely when to go forward. And just an absolute brilliant performance buy him. And I'm going to move on now to the question I'm going to ask you guys in the comment section below. I want you guys to answer it. Let's go on to it now. I'm going to make this really quick. But do you guys think that Chelsea are Premier League contenders? I don't know, but I do think. So I'm going to leave that up to you. Discuss in the comments.